This one, we're going to be talking about what's the alternative to entrepreneurship. And in this episode, this podcast episode, we're going to be kind of building up or building on what the blog post talks about. So we're going to talk about the traditional path to fire. Ready? Aim, fire. Why don't you go ahead and talk to our audience about those alternatives, those alternative career paths that you had in mind, and what you think about those.
You bet. One of the first ones was being a teacher. As I was going to college, that option was, but I didn't necessarily think that entrepreneurship was the way to go, meaning that wasn't on my mind. I looked at lots of other things, but then I finally worked for, actually it was a second company in lawn care. And during that is when I decided that I wanted to go into entrepreneurship. So it definitely was a journey of discovery to figure out, what really, fired me up, what I got excited about, which I'm glad I did, because I've made a lot more money as an entrepreneur than I would have as a teacher. A company offered to buy Turf Plus. So I started researching what would I do. And one of the things that caught my interest was being a forest ranger. I love the outdoors, and I thought that would be a lot of fun. But as I continued to just kind of search inside myself to discover what I really enjoy, I came to the conclusion that, as much as I enjoy being in the outdoors, I enjoy being an entrepreneur all the more. I really love being able to service customers and to be able to take the business and on a daily basis, be able to tweak it, to improve customer service, to improve the bottom line, to improve all facets of business. And that's really enjoyable to me. So during the journey, I discovered that I really like being an entrepreneur. There are lots of things about it that are very enjoyable. And as all things, there are things that I don't enjoy. But overall, I get a lot of satisfaction and a lot of fulfillment in life.
Something interesting that came to my mind as you were talking is I can see how you are actually a teacher and a quote unquote forest ranger in what you're doing. So what do I mean by that is, like, as the business owner, as the person that founded Turf Plus, you're the one that knows the ins and outs of the business, and you throughout the years are the person that teaches the employees, the lawn specialists, how to do their job. So you're teaching them how to do that. You're also, especially more in the beginning than now, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you also have taught customers in the past how to take care of their lawn, what healthy grass looks like, how to diagnose issues and whatnot. So you have been able to take that aspect of, I guess, that desire, better said, of wanting to help others by teaching them, which inspired you to want to be a teacher, and you have applied it into this business. Also with the forest ranger thing, you wanted to do that because you love the outdoors. I believe that's what you were saying before. You love the outdoors, and so you wanted to be in the outdoors as a forest ranger. And as we can see, like, your job is outside, and that is also an aspect that you've brought into your own business. So something that I want to point out here with all of this is it's interesting to see how our interests can be brought together through entrepreneurship. Like, you were able to bring wanting to be a teacher and also be outdoors into one business model. And I think that's one of the awesome things about being an entrepreneur is you can find a way to make yourself the happiest you can be, to include things where they make sense into your business that are your passions and your interests. With me, I would say that if I wasn't an entrepreneur, I would be definitely looking for a quote unquote traditional job. So, like your 9 to 5, typical 9 to 5 job. And as we know, how it works in the world that we live in is we have our resumes that we give to the hiring manager or whoever it may be who looks over that and decides that they want to hire us. And if you're an honest person and you put on there what is actually your expertise, which I'm assuming, I think it's safe to say that most of us are honest people and would do that. For me, it would be pretty much customer service, being on the phone because I was in a call center. So that's something that I would end up doing. If we looked at it realistically based off of what's on my resume, that would be what I would end up getting into because of it being on my resume. With the quote unquote traditional job, it's kind of hard to break into new industries to get new different jobs and get new experience because it seems like every job that's out there requires some amount of experience, and it's hard to get that experience if you don't have experience. Kind of an interesting paradigm there. Where I'm going with this is with entrepreneurship. Something that has drawn me to entrepreneurship is the fact that I'm the one that's starting the business. I'm the one with the vision. I'm the one with the ideas. And I'm also the one that knows me better than anyone else. So I know what my interests are, I know what my passions are, and I can use entrepreneurship as a way to integrate all of my passions and interests, as I was mentioning before. So, like for you, you're able to implement being a teacher and being outside. For me, I'm able to implement entrepreneurship, which is something I'm definitely passionate about, have been for years, and also the concept of FIRE, of being able to become financially independent and quote unquote retire early, to where I can spend time with my family, use the money, the equity that I've earned and built in my business in exchange for time. And I say quote unquote retire early because that can mean different things for everyone. Please correct me if I'm wrong. For you, it's you still work, but you have that freedom to take the time to go to an event that your family has, to go on vacation, and you have that freedom to be able to break away from your business. Am I accurate in saying that that's your definition of quote unquote retire early?
Yeah, I can leave when I want to, but I have great people that I work with that carry on when I'm not there, and a great manager and great office personnel who really service the customer well. So I feel very comfortable in taking off time to go on vacation or to pursue other interests. And I come back because I enjoy it. And we continue to tweak and improve. And to me, it's a great situation. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. So I think kind of with this definition of retire early could be, I guess you could say, a little controversial. People with your typical 9 to 5 jobs, they could quote unquote be retired early because they're doing what they love to do. They're able to take the time when they're not working to be with their family. And so, like under these definitions that we're giving, working at a 9 to 5 can also be fulfilling. Entrepreneurship isn't the only way to achieve FIRE, but it is definitely a great way to achieve it. In the article that I wrote, it talks about saving money, being frugal, so cutting down your expenses and earning more money. So with your typical 9 to 5, you're able to do these things. You're able to work hard. You're able to make money, get raises, and if you're depending on your field, you're able to make really good money, and you're able to save what you need to reach FIRE. For a lot of people, though, in their situation, they are needing to find a second job or have their spouse work, or they're going to start a side hustle. So they're going to need to add to their income. Whereas with entrepreneurship, you may have to do that as well. technically starting a side hustle is entrepreneurship, and so you're working in the 9 to 5, and you have your side hustle, so you have that hybrid there. With entrepreneurship, you do have that ability of making really good money if you work hard and you do things right. Like with your experience, Dana, you were able to focus just on your business, and that was able to get you to where you needed to be. And I feel like that's the case for a lot of entrepreneurs that stick to what they want to do. So that acronym that was mentioned in a past episode of focus, they followed one course until success, and so that will make it possible for you to be able to make enough money to achieve fire. But again, to repeat, for the purpose of this episode, it is possible to achieve that through your traditional 9 to 5. And as always, with any route you take to achieve anything, it's a difficult route, as is entrepreneurship.
When I was first starting Turf Plus, since it's a seasonal business and I wasn't making as much as I wanted to, I had an additional job that I would do in the winter for, I believe it was 2 or 3 years. Then after that, I decided that I was just going to spend that off-season time improving our processes and improving the business so that when we started in the spring, we would do even better.
With entrepreneurship, that's how it's going to be in the beginning. That's how it is in the beginning for most, if not all, entrepreneurs, depending on what phase in life you have, what kind of expenses you have. But for the most part, businesses start as a side hustle, and then go from there. So like you're working your typical 9 to 5, so using your 9 to 5 to cover your expenses, and then working on your business to fulfill your dreams and be an entrepreneur, or to supplement your income, whatever the case may be. But you're ending up doing the same thing that you were saying, and you were blessed to have the opportunity to dedicate your time during the season to Turf Plus, and then on the off season work on other projects that are bringing in the money to help you pay the bills. That's an awesome opportunity for you, and very typical for entrepreneurship in general.
Yeah, whatever the blend may be, there's always the thing of earning as much money as you can and being as frugal as you can in order to save up money to invest, save up money to not only in passive income, but also in active income through, investing it in your business, but always investing so that you're improving your life, improving your future.
Frugality is a principle that applies to anything really when it comes to finances. When you're starting your business, you try to be as frugal as possible, keep your personal expenses as low as possible, so that it's a lower barrier to where your business can start making enough money to cover your expenses, so you can make the leap into full-time entrepreneurship. So yeah, frugality is a great strategy no matter what path you're taking. You want to keep your expenses as low as possible, so that you can live the life that you want to live. Because at the end of the day, we were talking about this pre-recording. Buying things can be fun, it can be exciting, but it isn't the most fulfilling thing in this life. I think, in my opinion, the best investment is to spend your money to quote unquote buy back your time, or meaning have your freedom. So I think that's a great way to spend money. So frugality is definitely a great way to go.
Yeah, all of us see life in different ways. All of us have our own priorities. To me, having freedom, financial freedom, is a very high priority. And by being frugal and buying those things that I really want to spend my money on, and saving the rest, has made it so that I have been able to achieve financial independence.
Yeah, and I think frugality can also be extended into the realm of time. I mean, time is a resource, and it's always referred to as the resource that we have a limited amount of. Like with money, we can always turn around and make more money, but we can't go back and get more time. So where I'm going with that is it's definitely great to focus on to do what it takes to be able to have the time to do what we want to do, because at the end of the day, time is going to run out, and we need to ask ourselves if we lived the life that we wanted to live. Did we fulfill all of our dreams? Did we, or at least most of them, did we meet our goals? Did we leave a good impression on the lives of those around us? And I think that's really what the purpose of life is to find fulfillment. And we need to be not only intentional with our finances, but also intentional with the way that we spend our time. So we need to make sure we're intentional with our money, as you were saying, so that we can be intentional with how we spend our time as well.
I agree. Definitely.
Make sure that you know what you're getting into, whether that's getting into entrepreneurship, know what you're getting into there, or if you're deciding to go away from entrepreneurship and join the traditional route of doing things, make sure you know what you're doing there to have to be educated in your choices that you're making in every aspect of life, and make sure you're intentional with your time and that you're doing what you want to do with your life at the end of the day. That is what is important. We would love to hear from you. If you would like, you could leave a comment on our blog post for this episode. You can find that at firepreneurship.com/11. Or if you would like to be featured on this podcast, you can send us an email with a voice recording and title that email Podcast Voicemail. We will review it and we may include it in a future episode. We look forward to hearing from you. Our mission at firepreneurship.com is to help people like you achieve FIRE, financial independence, retire early, through entrepreneurship. We offer educational materials like this podcast, but most of all, we offer outsourcing services to help you automate the business you started to bring you financial independence, so you can focus on what you love the most about running your business, or if you want, step away from your autonomous business altogether and retire early. Thank you for listening to this edition of the Firepreneurship Show. To show our appreciation, we've created a page full of helpful resources for you and your business. To access it, visit firepreneurship.com/resources. Again, that's firepreneurship.com/resources. It's time we signed our own Declaration of Financial Independence.